Okay, let's start with our house updates.
Woohoo!
You're not even going to be here when we get the keys to our first home together.
I know, it's pretty intense. And you are on a rant about, like, I have seen enough... What did you call them? I've seen enough booty moons. I've seen enough booty moons on Love Island.
Toes out for the boys. Stand 10 toes down on business.
How many times did you hear that on Love Island this week? We stand on business. Stand on business, girl.
Stand 10 toes down on business.
Feels like it's been a while since we've been in this room.
What happened last week?
I went to Scottsdale, Arizona, and if we had recorded, it would have been on Sunday night.
No, Monday.
Monday.
You came home dazed and confused on Sunday night.
3 hours time difference gets you.
For somebody who doesn't drink, I was like, did you fall off the wagon?
A little bit suspicious. We had really late nights. Look, I can still hang with the boys, the big dogs who do drink, you know? So I was out late.
Good on you, because I could not.
Yeah.
I would not. I would be like in bed by 11.
We had late night chats in the swimming pool until all hours of the morning because it's like 90 degrees in the middle of the night.
Yeah. So you just ignored your responsibilities of coming home and recording an episode?
Yeah, I wouldn't say
Seriously?
ignore the responsibilities. I think you did talk me into the fact of, hey, we're gonna miss an episode once in a while.
Yeah.
I think if you make it back to back, now you've got problems.
Right.
So thanks for bearing with us last week.
We just need to be more mindful of our schedule and plan our breaks accordingly.
Yeah.
Like,
correct.
had we really sat down and thought it through, we probably would have said, let's just skip your 4th of July weekend.
Right, that's a good point.
Everybody's busy.
4th of July weekend, totally forgot about that fact. Yeah, you're right. We should have known a week ahead. So in the episode before, we should have said, hey, no episode next week.
But it did give us our first real big viral moment. David's freaking out because he just did his nervous foot twitch where he stretches his feet up. But today he's not wearing any socks and he's a little paranoid about it.
What?
Are you not going to say anything back?
Oh, I thought you were just rolling with the punches here. I don't really have anything
but
to
you
say.
know, podcast, you're supposed to speak back to the person that you're talking to.
For a second, I was wondering if I had pushed record. So.
Did you?
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
So we're good.
good.
Don't worry.
As I was saying, we got our first kind of viral moment because we missed an episode with the
I mean, would you
fake
call it a
breakup
viral
post.
moment? I think it was just, it wasn't, I wouldn't
It
say it
has
was a
300,000 views.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. I wouldn't say it was a viral moment, but it was one of those posts where like you expect 1,000 people to see it.
Yeah, and then 300,000 do.
Right.
If you guys listen to MPT, you always know I talk about the black background, white text, the colors of doom. Anytime you see that on Instagram, you know it's about to hit
Someone
the fan.
referred to it in the comments as the death colors.
Literally. So that's how we announced. We did like the spoof on the breakups. It says, friends, due to unforeseen circumstances, aka David being at a bachelor party all weekend, we have made the difficult decision to not release a podcast episode this week. We love and respect each other so much, even though Morgan did nothing at all weekend and very easily could have recorded. Please respect our privacy at this time, with the exception of interacting with our social media content because we need the engagement. Signed, the original M&H with a heart.
And boy, did y'all engage.
Yes, we appreciate you. And I guess we should just take this opportunity to say we're at 890 Instagram followers, and we're going to throw a party when we get to 1,000. So if you are not on our Instagram yet, what are you waiting for? That's the type of stuff that you're missing out on.
Stop what you're doing, switch apps, go to Instagram,
Yes.
The Seriously Show, or if you're already following Morgan, it's in her bio.
Yes.
And hit follow. We are just over 100 people away from 1,000.
You're also missing David making memes and putting this song to it.
We're going to get copyright.
No, that's it. Okay, see, just a little bit.
Savage Garden was the track I selected for my latest meme post.
It makes absolutely no sense,
It took
that
me
meme.
an entire episode of Love
Entire.
Island to create one 1080 by 1080 square.
And it didn't even make sense. The song does not even make sense with the meme
That's
whatsoever.
why it's so funny. That is why it's so funny.
Okay, anyways, we're going to talk about Love Island a little bit later because we're going to do a two-parter. We know that the finale happened on Sunday, but right now in this time warp that we're in, we're recording on Saturday. So we're going to do a two-part pod. We're going to start with all of our house updates, and then we'll record part 2 after the finale. So
After we know who won, and I'm banking, I'm going to make my bet now. Who are you going to bet on?
Amaya and Bryan.
And Bryan.
obviously, you know there is like a hooded
Bryan.
nation out there.
Really, huh?
Yeah, who are really vibing and want her to win. We can't get into it right now.
Yeah,
we have
sorry.
to wait.
Sorry.
Okay, let's start with our house updates.
Woohoo!
We're moving.
We're moving.
We're full steam ahead.
Things are happening. Loan paperwork has happened.
Oh my gosh.
You love paperwork.
I have probably 75 emails of things that I needed to sign
Right.
that I have. I couldn't tell you one thing that they say.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is the loan company is letting me sign for both of us. So the only time you have to go in and sign is when our realtor sends us something.
Right.
Because the other platform is letting me sign for the both of us. So if that wasn't the case, you would have been signing even more, way more.
Oh gosh.
But honestly, ChatGPT is your friend. Screenshot ChatGPT. Does this look good? Does this look good? Does this look good? And you gotta like have your wits about you. But for the most part, it's been a pretty smooth process.
You know what we're spiraling over right now? And I don't know if you are, but I really am.
I don't know why I'm not, but I'm not.
The paint color.
Right.
How am I supposed to pick a paint color for my house if I'm not actually allowed in the house until we get the keys?
I know. I don't know. It's just been one of those things where I've been like, I'm going to wait until we're in the house. And whenever that is, that's when that is. I can't be bothered to fight with the seller on letting a contractor in there to give us an estimate.
Yeah, and of course I don't want to fight. Like, I'm not like got my pitchforks up or whatever. But it just is interesting to me that that's the way that it works. Like,
Yeah.
How do people do that? Do they just decide like we're going to allot a specific amount of time for the painter to come in before we move in? What if you contact somebody and they're booked and busy and can't come in, and then they have to paint when you have all your stuff laying around everywhere? It's just like my brain.
Or they come in to estimate when we move in and they realize it's going to take longer and
Yeah.
they haven't allotted enough time.
I know exactly why you're not concerned about it.
Why?
And we're going to do the Seriously Award of the Week at minute 7 this week. Because you're not even going to be here when we get the keys to our first home together.
I know, it's pretty intense. I leave for Barcelona, Spain on the day we move in.
On the day I move in, because you're not doing anything. And I am absolutely distraught about this.
Yeah, that is it's rough, but it was a trip planned way, way, way in advance. So there's nothing I can do about it.
Way in advance, but you also cannot sit still. It's like every time the opportunity presents itself, you have to do it. Which I
Well-
can't say that I blame you, I guess, at this moment in time. It's just negatively affecting me and my life now, so now I'm mad about it.
I know. I'm sorry. I mean, I would be lying if I didn't think it was going to bum me out as well. Because on that day that I'm in a plane, I'm going to be like, oh, I wish I was at the house doing this, doing that, whatever.
We're not even going to be able to take like a cute little family picture. Like,
First in the front of the house.
Yeah.
We're still going to do that. We're still going to do that.
how do you know?
Because as soon as I get back, we'll just pretend it's the day we moved in.
I'm not
And
pretending.
I don't even think you're going to sleep there until I get back.
Well, no, because the painter is going to have to go in the whole entire first week.
Exactly. It could work out in our favor. While I'm gone, the house is painted. Boom. Boom tings.
I'm still mad about it.
I know. I do apologize. It's not ideal. That's all I can say. I have to put my hands up, put my feet up. Sorry. What can we do?
But anyways, you know, as one chapter comes to a close, a new one opens, we're getting ready to say goodbye to this house that we've been in for a year and a half.
Do you want to talk about the one problem we had with this house?
I don't even know if it's we as much as me, and it kind of makes me concerned for my well-being.
We have lived in this house for about 18 months now, and we've had a really great time. For an old house that got remodeled, it gave us no problems. But there was one problem, and it wasn't even with the house. But there was one moment that we experienced, besides a faucet freezing in the winter, actually. For like 3 weeks, I would drive the car into the garage, open the car door, and be like, what is that smell? And you would look at me and be like, I don't smell anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, babe, can you not smell that? It is disgusting. So by like week, I don't know, maybe it wasn't 3 weeks, but it was a solid 2 weeks. I'd open the kitchen door that goes into the garage and I'd smell it again. I'm like, no, this isn't right.
Every time you'd be like, you don't smell that. And I'm like, I literally don't smell anything.
So we come back again from somewhere together, open the car, and I'm like, no, this is it. I start shining torches under things, looking, and then I see flies in the corner going meow, 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 meow. I look under there with a torch, and there is a dead possum just chilling there. Sad times. But the scary part is your nose, ever since you had all kinds of nasal, throaty, chest problems, you just cannot smell. You could not smell a 2-week-old dead possum.
And that's concerning, right?
It's pretty concerning to me.
Do allergies do that? Like,
possibly
clog you up so bad that you can't smell a dead possum in your garage for 2 weeks?
But hey, we got an air purifier this week, so
yeah, we did, and I feel
trying to change things around here.
I'm convinced that it's not allergies because it's not improving at all. Right. I've been on the shots for 4 months.
You missed your shot this week.
I did miss my shot this week. I take Zyrtec every night before bed. I duct tape my mouth shut so that I heard that helps. We got the air purifier, and I feel like I still sound exactly the same.
I don't think you sound bad at all.
Oh, I feel it. I can feel it all up in here. When I record my Patreons, I have to stop and clear my throat just like I just did. I just don't sound like I'm supposed to, and I can tell.
Well,
and it bums me out.
You're doing what's in your control, so now we just move on.
Do I need to see an ENT? Like, because I could have some deviated septum or like nose polyps. I've started to chat GPT. I'm just not convinced
Dr. GPT.
that allergies would cause me to not be able to smell a dead possum rotting away in my garage for 2 weeks.
That was insane. Pretty intense.
It's insane.
There was one other thing with this house that has come up this week, and I don't know if it's one of the things that we're looking forward to about the new house is that our offices are going to be separated by a hallway. But this week was a pretty obvious scenario where our offices are separated by the same wall.
Yeah, we hear each other say and do
word for word. So this week you're recording your episode of MPT, and you were you were talking about Love Island, and you were on a rant about like, look, I have seen enough. What did you call them? I've seen enough booty moons. I've seen enough booty moons on Love Island. And I'm on Zoom like, yeah, so can we talk about the quarterly priorities for this week, guys? Are we going to, I don't know why I'm an American accent. And in the background, I just hear, I don't want to see Hooters booty moons anymore. It was as if you were sitting in the room with me. So as another ode to the end of this house, we will no longer have to share a wall. Our studios and offices will be separated by a hallway. And I can't wait for that day.
Do you know what booty moons are?
The booty moons, this is how you explained it. The booty moons, you know when you go to the tanning salon and you gotta hold up your butt cheeks. You gotta hold up your butt cheeks so that you get tanned under those booty moon parts. You see these Love Islanders twerking, and you just see their booty moons. You know what's hilarious? I think I was transcribing something into ChatGPT, and it was hearing you talk about Love Island, and it said to me, sorry, I can't transcribe this. It violates our guidelines. So
sounds about right. I am tired of all the booty moons I see on Love Island. I've had enough.
One more week and there's no more booty moons.
Literally, like, as I recorded.
I heard that word one more time.
Well, it's funny because you heard it when I was recording MPT, which I record on Wednesdays, and then we had Thursday night and Friday night's episode, and they had a challenge, and you were like, "Oh, here comes Hood and her booty moves."
I mean, they did the family meet and greet this week. On today's episode, or last night's episode, they're meeting mothers with their booty moons out. Come on, have a little respect.
They have no respect. No respect.
Ugh. I mean, they started the episode with them getting out of bed and being like, "Oh, should I put on a shirt to see the family videos?" Like, no, bro, cover the booty moons.
Oh my gosh. That's the one part I hate about Love Island, truly. And you know, like, I cannot stomach the challenges. I can't. They're disgusting. The noises, the sounds, the images. I like have started fast forwarding through them because they're so gross.
We are probably, I would say we're obviously still prime demo, but I would stay mid to late 20s as like prime, like peak prime.
Yeah.
We're like subprime demo for Love Island. So I think the 20-year-olds absolutely love
You
that.
do.
Yeah.
Too old. We're
just
too
getting
old for
too
this.
So I don't even know where we were going with that story, but the fact is we're closing the chapter on this house. No more dead possums, no more frozen faucet.
Yeah.
No more shared wall in the studio.
There will
and
be
the
no
offices.
booty moons in this household.
No shared booty moon overhearing each other, but we've loved this house. It's been
Yeah.
a great time.
It has been good. It's been good to us. Should we start talking about our Love Island opinions and then save the finale thoughts?
Yeah, so we'll wrap up part one with a bit of a prequel to what we think is going to happen tonight. I think Amaya and Bryan are going to win. I was a little surprised that Shelly and Ace went home. I think the way that they did it with the whole dinner plate thing was dumb because it was so obvious.
You were a hater on the whole episode.
The whole episode, no, I thought the family thing was
good.
family thing was awesome, especially the way they cut off Amaya and Bryan's feed and then they came in. That was awesome. You got to see a lot of good emotion, and I appreciated that. I think the season has lacked a lot of that.
Yeah,
we
true.
didn't get any. We got like 2 dates.
Yeah,
the entire season. Remember last season? They were bike riding. They were horse riding. They were in the back of the truck watching a movie.
Which, to play devil's advocate, you are talking about the final dates, which we haven't seen yet. Because Sunday's episode will probably be all of their final dates.
Oh, really?
And then,
okay, I'm missing out on that.
Yeah.
Well,
but
yeah,
still,
I guess that's a good point.
I mean, Jeremiah and Huda had a date. Sierra and Nick had a date. And that's it.
They
And then
didn't
the
do
two
any bombshell
hideaways.
dates. Remember the bombshells would come in?
Yeah.
I think my biggest
yeah.
criticism of the season is the fact that there was a differently run casa, and I think it was a failed experiment.
I think the whole thing was just horrible. What were they going to do at Casa More? Because nobody was like in, that's what happened. Nobody was in a tight-knit relationship. The only people that were close to that was Jeremiah and Huda, but obviously, you know, the toxicity of that took over. And when everybody got to Casa, nobody was in
everybody
a serious
was like
relationship.
super protective of staying single until casa.
There were no,
and then
like,
they changed the
Taylor and
format
Aaron's.
of casa, which was weird because
Yeah.
everybody came back with couples.
The whole thing was just weird. And I think like you can tell because we're not really rooting for any particular couple. We're rooting for individuals that we like. Like
Yeah.
Love Amaya. And her and Bryan, I think, are the best couple at the moment. I know a lot of people are weary of Bryan. Like, does he just know that Amaya was America's favorite and is kind of like latching on because he thinks that she's going to win?
After the family thing, I don't think so.
No, I think that he really does like her. But also Nick and Nicolandria, where are the outliers? Because people love Nick and Nicolandria and we just don't see it.
I see a true, genuine, authentic friendship.
Yeah.
They love each other deeply as friends, and that's okay. I just see through the idea of, I mean, look, if I had met somebody like that I really get along with and as a friend, why would I not just try go to the end with her?
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
And that's what I think.
I don't blame them at all. I
Yeah.
just don't see long-term romance. And they could prove me wrong, and I will put my hands up.
But I
right now,
like
don't
both
see
of
it.
them as individual people, you know, which also
Yeah,
is
totally.
alluring to why you would maybe want to vote for them.
Both their family things were awesome. Her mom is, Alandria's mom was so funny.
Yeah.
They really
yeah,
get along.
they were.
Nick's family was awesome, so I'm happy for them.
I have a hot take about the families meeting.
Mm.
You know how Chris was super worried about his family meeting Huda because Chris was like, my mom will just tell it like it is.
Yeah.
And then it was a very different experience, right? He was like, do you guys have anything to say? And they were like, no.
Yeah.
And he was like, really? And she's like, yeah. I think mom and sister were like, we're not going to say anything that could keep them from winning $100,000. We're not going to get on this show and say, we don't like Huda for you. We don't think you guys are going to last on the outside world, because any negative feedback, you know, it would have been the only real negative thing any of the families said. And that would have stuck in viewers' mind, maybe even like subconsciously, you know, and it's like, how do you vote for Huda and Chris to win when they were the only like negative conversation was to come from that couple. So I feel like they were like, okay, our son has a chance to potentially win $100,000 if people really like this couple together. Let's not say or do anything that's going to defer
Just
that.
keep it neutral. Well, that's a very good case for removing the prize money, I think.
Really?
It's the only way you solve that.
Yeah.
Because you've now got friendships going to the end. You've got families probably biting their tongue. I think
That's why a lot of people got eliminated this season when the Islanders had to vote, I think, because they saw them as threats to win.
You got like a little small survivor tactics going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the next season is going to be very interesting.
True.
Very interesting to see how they adjust, if they adjust. But anyway, we can't dawdle too long on this, because we're going to check back in for part 2 once we know who wins.
Let's do our You want to do the top 4 prediction?
Yeah, good idea. Let's go.
So I'll do mine and then you do yours. I think 4th place is
Do they tell us the order? Yeah, they do, don't they?
4th place is going to be Iris and Pepe.
Okay.
3rd place is going to be Huda and Chris. 2nd place is going to be Nicolandria. And then I think Amaya and Bryan are going to win.
I agree with you. Just to be different, I'm going to swap Iris and Pepe and Huda and Chris.
Okay, so say your ranking.
Huda and Chris, Iris and Pepe, Nick and Alandria, and
the winners,
Amaya and Bryan.
We'll see. Stay tuned.
See ya in part 2.
Do you remember what your prediction was for the winners?
Bryan and Amaya.
I know, but do you remember your...
Oh, the order.
One of us was right, I think, and one of us was wrong.
Mine was the same as yours, and then I decided to change my last 2 to be different.
Right.
Because
I really would love to brag right now, but I don't know if it was me or if it was you.
This is so annoying.
I know.
I mean, the footage is on the camera.
Well, just pretend like I was right. Well, anyways, we have an official winner of Love Island USA Season 7, and we were right in our overall winner.
I was perfect.
Keep going.
I never said I didn't have no
any flaws. But at least I'm pretty. And kind of funny.
She did another song in the finale.
She did. Congratulations to Amaya and Bryan. We so desperately wanted them to win. I thought there was no other option, but I was getting a little worried there for a second.
At the end. As soon as we found out that an actual couple finished 4th over Huda and Chris, I was starting to worry about 1st and 2nd.
That right there, Huda and Chris getting 3rd place, is what is wrong with the entire season.
100%. I
mean,
I don't even have the words to describe that final date.
Oh, we'll get to the date. But people have been voting for who they like the best individually and not necessarily who is the best couple. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of Shelly, or I was a big fan of Shelly. I didn't really like Ace, but I still believe that they deserve to be in the finale over Chris and Huda.
100%. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I would put them in the top 3.
Shelly and Ace.
Yeah.
And Taylor and Clark, too. I'm like, hello.
I think I've said this before and I'll say it again. They were one of the most transparent couples in terms of just being honest about their feelings. She came in, made her feelings clear towards Taylor. He obviously picked Clark over Alandria and didn't make it into the final.
Let's talk about Chris and Huda's date. Was that not the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life?
The actual
No,
pain.
wait.
I was watching their date like this.
No way, but it actually all started when Chris threw the pillow and it hit Hood in the face.
Oh, yeah, that's so true.
And she
Little bit
came
of-
back with a nose job bandage on her face.
Little bit of final night banter with the boys and the girls. Boom, boom, boom. And it's like, oh, my nose. Next day, what was wrong with the nose?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
He's got his Dorinda hands out. Okay, look, I get it. We all kind of saw the writing on the wall with Chris and Huda and that they weren't compatible. They weren't going to make it. But watching their final date, yes, Huda is part of the problem. Chris is also part of the problem.
I was pretty disappointed to see the way he acted on that final date. Something tells me he'll rewatch that and maybe not apologize, but just acknowledge that.
Wish that he would have done something different.
Right, because if anything, Huda was down. So
she's down bad.
Down real bad. So that's the moment to put everything aside and be like, hey, let me carry you over this water.
Right.
So that you, one, don't have to take your shoes off. Two, don't have to wet your feet. You're clearly upset.
For him to be like, why are you crying? I'm like, what do you mean, why is she crying?
Right.
Like, just because she was the one to initiate the breakup doesn't mean that she's still not upset about it.
And here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that she did initiate the breakup. I think that he didn't want to have on his resume that he broke up with her.
Right.
So he was kind of pushing her to just say the words so that he didn't have to. And look, I also have to acknowledge that they're both humans with feelings, and he must have been pretty upset in that moment too, which gets you to react in a way where you maybe don't want to carry her or you don't want to continue to talk about it. But in the heat of that day, it was funny how short the good times lasted on that date, because they were like, yeah, it's so great to be here. Also, but
Right.
And then this poor singer comes out on the ledge and starts singing a love song, and she just sees this dumpster fire
literally
down there burning. And she's just like, That was when the pain started for me.
But you know what? I think after listening to their final speeches to each other, I think they're going to be able to be friends.
Right. I think, honestly, it's a good thing it happened there and not first day out of the villa.
Yeah.
Because they would have either had to try to figure out a way to stay together until the reunion.
Right.
Or just had a really messy month and then it all come out at the reunion. So I think at the end of the day, once the emotions settled, people calmed down a bit. They said their friend Peace at the, what did they call it? The love declarations or something? I was like, brother, that ain't no love declaration.
Okay, ready for this question?
Mm-hmm.
Nicolandria, real or fake?
My take is that they have not admitted it to themselves yet, but it's not long term. I think real or fake's not the right question. It's
Are you sure?
it's because I do think they love each other, like
as friends.
Truly do as friends, and I think that there is some sparks. There is physical attraction. They're both very good looking people, but I just don't think that deep down it's like their life partners.
Yeah.
Otherwise they would have found that out sooner.
I understand that they couldn't talk about Sierra, but it was the huge elephant in the room.
Right.
And I'm like, how are you expecting Nick to just move on like nothing happened, to fall head over heels in love with Nicolandria, so much so that they make it to the finale. They're in the top 2. I get it. People love them. But I was like, this has to be weighing on him. And to me, that takes away some of the reality, right, of the show, because he's thinking about it. He's talking to other people about it. He might even be talking to Nicolandria about it. We're not allowed to see it because of the circumstances, but that makes it feel not as genuine as it should. Yeah,
I completely agree. And I think that it's not the cast members' fault that the Final Four ended up the way it did.
Yeah.
I do think that the Casa Amor format was poor. I think the whole execution of it was poor. And it ultimately led cast members, to make decisions to keep themselves in the game.
Yeah.
And I guess that's one of the downsides of being a show run by a big network is they have to make a lot of decisions that not only reflect on the show but reflect on the network.
Right.
Because if you could go back in time, there were other cast members removed from the show, which then meant whatever happened with Sierra, you've kind of got to follow suit.
Right.
And I think it would have been a lot better TV to have the cast members stay on but explain themselves.
Yeah.
And navigate that on the show.
Or just do better vetting. I mean, the fact Sierra's didn't come out until later. But I mean, as soon as Yulissa got on the show, it was like immediately all of this stuff started popping up. So it's like, how much time are people digging into her past, or was it easy to find? Where if you had somebody who was actually like their job was to look for things like that, we would have never been in this situation to begin with.
Yeah, you say that, but I feel like you could probably find something on anybody.
True.
But at the end of the day, I think the show could have been formatted a little differently and it would have made an impact on the show. I think we were all worried that they were not going to be able to top last season, and
they did not.
They did not.
No.
It was shaping up. It was shaping up until Casa.
It was shaping up, in my opinion, until the Hannah vote. Because that actually set the scene for the rest of the time.
Because now all of a sudden you've got people that are like, oh, I'm bawling my eyes out. This person's leaving. I can't believe it. Next day, I'm in love.
Right. And I just felt like that was the first indicator that there were a lot of game players on the show as opposed to like just falling in love and letting the chips fall where they may. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And I don't think it's the money factor. I think it's the opportunity factor of being on the show longer.
I think it's all of it.
I mean,
$50,000 isn't something to scoff at.
No, I agree with you, but it's not like a Survivor $1 million prize.
Yeah.
And 50 grand each after taxes is like 30 grand, maybe.
Okay, Dave.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe in your early 20s as well, that does make a big difference.
But with all that said, all of the negatives that we had to endure this season, the right person won Love Island USA.
The right person won Love Island. And we did sit there and watch 36 episodes. So
right. And we were rooting for her. And I feel like, I know there's a lot of people that think Bryan maybe just coupled up with Amaya because he saw that she was a fan favorite. I think that he's genuine. I feel like their body language, you can tell that he's really into her.
I agree. And I think their backgrounds and their like sort of family, the way they both have their families, that family meeting day seemed really special for both of them. And I think they connected over that. And I think they're good for each other.
Okay,
I'm really happy for them.
Here's the question. Does Love Island USA spoil the winners? Because based on last season and this season, based on the final date, we pretty much knew who the winner was going to be. Whoever the winner is gets the most romantic date. They're usually last. Anytime like the fireworks sparklers start going off, I'm like,
slow-mo kiss.
Yep, they won because it was Serena and Cordell last season.
Yeah.
And then it was Amaya and Bryan this season.
Yeah, I was wondering the whole episode because they were mixing up the order a few times. Like Amaya and Bryan, they waited until, I think they were like the second couple to welcome each other into the love declaration thing. The order of things was different through each thing except the dates.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to seasons before Cordell to see if there was another repeat like that. Because if it is, they have to switch it up next season.
Yeah. I just feel like you do always want to save the best for last when it comes to the dates, because the last one always does just feel more romantic than the rest of them.
You could argue that Huda and Chris's was more romantic, though. That setup was sick.
Yeah.
Besides the terrible microphones over the waterfalls.
Oh my gosh. And what was up with Ariana's mic? The first whole half of the finale when they're getting ready.
It was like under her hair or something.
Something was weird. It sounded like she was in a water tank or something.
Yeah,
I was like,
odd.
You guys, come on, get it together.
But hey, that's it. Another 36 episodes in the books. Foots up. Love Island's done, baby. I mean, look, out of all the shows in your world, that's the one that I seem to
enjoy the most.
Watch the most of with you. I probably missed like 4 episodes the whole season.
Knowing what you know now, how the whole season played out, would you still have watched it from day one with me?
No, I think it's hard to. I can't answer that question because like if I've known that I've seen that, I would be like, no, I don't want to watch it again.
Yeah. It was worth it to see Amaya's rise to superstardom.
Yeah, that was epic. I'm really looking forward to just her as a.
Is she just not
person
the
outside.
best? She really is just like a little ray of sunshine. She makes me laugh so much, unintentionally either. And I think it's hard in today's day and age to be 100% yourself on a reality TV show, no reservations, not dimming your light or going, above and beyond. It's really hard to do that because there's
Right.
so much social media backlash no matter what you do. But I truly feel like we saw Amaya for who she is. We saw her heart, and she was 100% herself the entire time.
100%, absolutely. I think she really deserved it, and there's not really much more else to say.
Congratulations, Amaya Papaya and Bryan.
Does that wrap up this episode?
Sure does.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget, we are so close to 1,000 followers on Instagram. Open your Instagram app, search The Seriously Show, and give us a follow. See you next week.